Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I am the perfect one, AJ, and with me, as always, is my co-host Noah Engelbretson. Noah, I woke up this morning, and we're recording this, of course, on October the 5th, and everything just kind of smelled a little bit better. The air was a little bit cleaner. Everything was just a little bit better in life, and you know why, Noah? Because we had postseason baseball popping off today, dude. Not only that, we are in the middle of postseason baseball. We are in the middle of football. The NBA is about to come back. NHL is about to come back. What?
One week for NHL, and I think 2 weeks for the NBA.
Yes, we are about to be in literally the best time to be alive. Then that records back to the beginning of history. This is going to be unbelievable, and it starts off with a great game between the Yankees and the Red Sox today. Red Sox winning. What was it? The final score was 6-1, right? Or was it 5-1?
6-2.
6-2. My bad.
Yeah, Stanton jacked a homer with.
That's right.
Like 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Which, I mean, hey, good last try, but hey, Boston came out. They came out swinging. They were dominant this whole game. The pitching was a lot better than I thought it was going to be on the Boston side, with Giovanni starting the game. Garrett Cole just really having a bad outing. I don't know how else to describe it. He was having an uncharacteristic outing. He's had a history of bad times in Fenway over the last couple of weeks and everything. But honestly, I thought within the it's a do or die situation. I thought he was going to show up and be able to put away a couple hitters or anything, but he really didn't do that well. Giovanni just got the better of him, and that Boston bullpen came in and just shut out the rest of the game, except for that last-minute home run by the Yankees in the 9th inning. Do you think the Red Sox are dangerous? Do you think the Yankees were just kind of shit, or what do you think's going on in the AL right now? Because I really don't have a pulse on what's going on, because I thought the Yankees were going to win. I thought the Yankees were the better team. This kind of blew everything up for me. What are your thoughts, Noah?
Yeah, no, the Red Sox are definitely dangerous. I mean, they're pretty powerful on offense. Their pitching does make me a little bit nervous, but it should be a fun series with them and the Rays, and I wouldn't be surprised with either team winning that. The Rays have obviously looked really good, but I think this is postseason baseball. This is where sometimes, your small market budget team, the Rays, those small market teams always seem to struggle to get over the postseason hump. And when it comes down to it, it's all that money the Red Sox are spending, I think, might end up giving them a little bit of an edge and a little bit more production.
Finally, though, you know what I mean? Finally, it's going to give them an edge and everything like that. Yeah, dude, they were devastating against the Yankees today. I don't really know a better way to describe it. Tomorrow we have another wild card game. We've got St. Louis and the Dodgers. Wainwright starting against Max Scherzer. Personally, I'm a Wainwright guy. I think Wainwright is a great pitcher. I do have a bias against the Dodgers and everything like that, so that might kind of skew my view on this a little bit. But with that being said, I really like Wainwright and the Cardinals as the underdog tomorrow. It's kind of disrespectful, I think, that a lot of sports books still have the Dodgers as the favorite to win the World Series, and they haven't even played their play-in game yet. What are your thoughts on this Dodgers team and Cardinals game? Because I think the Dodgers are overrated at this point and just need to cut some contracts and spend another couple $100 million next season to get a playoff team.
I think it's really as simple as, if the Dodgers make it past this one game wild card series, they should be the favorite. The problem is I would never take that bet right now, because it's one game. So much can happen. I think you put the Dodgers against any other team in a 5 or 7 game series, they definitely have the edge.
Yeah,
their pitching depth
probably
is just so deep. Their batting lineup's really strong. But this is one game. It's one game. And if Wainwright comes out and just pitches a gem, throws a shutout through 7 or 8 innings, gives that bullpen a chance to come in, anything could happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say the one thing that's kind of discouraging on this game is that it's being played in LA. But I feel like every time, I think about the postseason baseball, I see Wainwright's name and I have good memories and stuff. So, I know this isn't our betting podcast, Degenerate Bets you can listen to, and we talk about all of our bets for the week and everything. But I'm leaning towards the Cardinals taking the money line. Just because I think this is a game, like it's a one game thing, and I trust the Cardinals to win one game more than I trust the Yankees to win more game. And that's kind of where I'm sitting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, the Cardinals were obviously super, super hot down the stretch.
They were
winning like 17, 18 straight before.
It was 17 in a row before dropping a game.
They lost, I think, their last 2 games to the Cubs, but at that point,
the
they already
fucking Cubs
had
come
clinched. So, I mean, they're really hot. They're firing on all cylinders. This could be an interesting game. I expect it'll be pretty low scoring, but surprises happen.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm just happy. We're in October, bro. Postseason baseball. Kind of like when we get into early summer with the Stanley Cup playoffs and everything. Playoffs are just the best time when you see people really put everything out on the line, especially these one-game wild card situations we have. I really wish we got the 4-game tie that we were talking about a couple weeks ago with our tournament at Field of Dreams. But hey, there's always next year for the MLB to kind of figure shit out and realize how they can actually make money. But that's not our job. Our job is to just talk about sports, not to make the MLB money. With that being said, can't wait for the rest of October and the MLB playoffs to continue. I really don't have a pick yet for the World Series. I need to dive a little bit deeper, but
you don't, huh?
No, because everything in my blood tells me not to take the Dodgers. However, everything else, like my numbers, all that shit, tell me to take the Dodgers. Excuse me. I honestly think though that if the Cardinals can get through the wild card, they have a solid chance to make it to the World Series. I'm not sure on the AL who would make it. Who do you think is going to make it? Who do you think are going to be the final 2 teams in the World Series, Noah?
I'm going to get a little crazy with it and pick the 2 teams that were not supposed to even make the playoffs, that being the Red Sox and the San Francisco Giants.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I think if Boston, now that they've beat the Yankees, I had them in this game, by the way.
Good for you.
I think if they can make it past the Rays, I don't think, I don't think the Astros or the White Sox, who've really been, slipping.
They have been
the last month or 2 of the year. I don't think either of those teams will win. I think it'll be Boston or Tampa Bay, whoever wins that series. I'm willing to go out on a little bit of a limb, take the dog here with the Red Sox, and I think the Giants will scrape by. Just sneaking by. I think they'll have a lot of long series.
I agree with you. I think a lot of these series this postseason are going to be drawn out. I think we're going to see a lot of 5-7 game series, just because of how everything's turning out. These bullpens seem to be really strong. That'll hold leads and everything, along with the fact that these starting pitching rotations are some of the strongest that I've seen in a couple years. I think we're in for a really exciting October. Really excited couple series leading up to the postseason. I'm going to wait to see who wins tomorrow before I make my World Series prediction. I need that. I just need to know who's in, who's out before I say anything on that.
Definitely makes a huge difference whether or not the Dodgers are playing on.
It really, and let me tell, like I said earlier, it pisses me off more than anything that the Dodgers, and I think, and like I said, disrespectful that the Dodgers are World Series favorites. They're number 1 on most sports books to win the World Series. I believe at plus 250 odds I saw them. That's ridiculous. They're playing a wild card game tomorrow, and you're going to put them at plus 250. Don't get me wrong. Their salary cap and everything says they should win the World Series. But we might be in a situation where talent out produces a salary cap. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't understand.
But they have the talent. That's why they're paying so much money, is because they have the best talent, like through and through.
If the best quote unquote talent, they've been the best talent for the last 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? Albert Pujols himself, he's got to be in his late 30s and shit like that. He's not producing like he used to. You're looking at depreciating values at this point.
He comes in and like pinch hits like once or twice a week.
Okay, no, thank you for ruining my point. But, my thing being, this might be a case where, people are kind of like, fuck this. We're not going to let a salary team, win out and everything. We're going to go out there. We're going to scrap and stuff. I am waiting. I think we're going to see a lot of scrappy hits at home plate, bro. A lot of lowering the shoulder into the catcher and shit like that. And I'm excited for that. That's the kind of baseball I love. Being a catcher for 12 years, that is the baseball I love. I love when a runner coming from third would try to challenge me and shit. You ain't knocking me over. You're getting tagged out. And that's the kind of baseball, I think we're going to see this postseason.
We will see. Definitely excited for, another wild card winner go home game tomorrow. Yankees getting knocked off today. Hopefully the Dodgers are right behind them. But
yeah, hopefully that would be wonderful to see two favorites knocked off. But Noah, so we have two directions we can go right now. We can go the very professional direction and talk about sports and athletics and everything like that. Or we can take door two. Okay, we're going to take the TMZ approach. Door number 2. Big story coming out this week. It's hard to keep a straight face because it's just kind of unbelievable. Urban Meyer, bro. He is wildin'. I don't know the better way to describe it. This man is crazy. For those of you who don't know, after the Thursday night football game, he did not travel back to Jacksonville with his team. He decided to stay in the area, travel to Ohio to his own bar that he owns. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name right now, but he traveled down there. And let me tell you, he had a good time, bro. He had a good time, Granted, he is a married man. The relations had that evening with the woman on his lap may have not been welcomed, even though it looked very welcomed in the situation. And then there is the issue with the 2 fingers. And then alternate angle, replay really kills. Replay has really been killing football coaches lately. And replay is really killing Urban Meyer. Noah, what are your thoughts on Urban Meyer?
He was digging for a little something there. I don't know.
Dude, this shit's ridiculous. We're talking about Urban Meyer, a coach who's won 2 national championships, coach of a professional football team. And we're talking about him like our buddy who fucked up at the club the other night. You know what I mean? This is unbelievable.
I think my favorite part about it was his statement.
Oh, dude.
If you haven't heard it, it's he's like, oh yeah, I was just going to a nice dinner with my grandchildren or niece and nephew or what I forget, whatever. And then he's like, when they were leaving, he got recognized by a raucous crowd or whatever.
Oh yeah, raucous table. I believe it was the table to his left. I believe he said
that convinced him, that coerced him into coming and having a drink and saying hi and chit chatting a little bit. Anyways, apparently that led to, it's just so funny that people's Snapchats and pictures and everything. My favorite one is this one girl. She's like, who is this guy and why does he keep trying to flirt with me? And it's just Urban Meyer.
Ridiculous. Dude, I get it. It's Urban Meyer, but bro, that angle of his fingers going up that girl's ass, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I'll call it like I see it. That's all I'm doing here. I'm not making allegations or anything like that. That video is pretty
Well,
clear.
You don't need to. It was pretty cut and dry. There's photo and video evidence of.
It's unbelievable, and we're not batting an eye about it. It's just like, yeah, LOL. Urban Meyer just like shoved his fingers up a girl's ass and grinded with the girl with his family at home, not traveling with the team. Like,
you know what my favorite part about it is, though?
What? Let me hear it.
Jacksonville got dangerously close to a win, and I've just been picking against them every week in my survivor pool.
Yeah.
But they looked like they were headed in a positive right direction. This is a huge setback, such a distraction from what they're doing. This will be great because now I can safely pick against Jacksonville for another like 4 or 5 weeks.
Bro, he was laughed out of his meetings today. He quote unquote apologized to the team for the distraction he caused and everything, and was laughed out of the meetings. Like, how is this man not out of Jacksonville already? Like, how can this man lead a team at this point, bro? Like, they don't
could be
him.
Are we considering that this could have been an intentional ploy to leave?
Oh, because to go get the USC job, leave his family and everything, go get the USC job.
In typical Urban Meyer fashion, when shit's not going well, there's a convenient medical issue or something else that causes him to need to step away.
Yeah,
no, I'm not saying that's the case. I would hope he wouldn't do that, but it's like I've kind of seen this one before, just in a different way.
Dude, yeah, Urban Meyer grinding to get the USC job. I mean, it's a bold move, and I think one that people in California would respect. Just knowing the history there and everything, and how respectable USC is, especially on their rowing. Or was that UCLA, their rowing team? I don't know. Regardless, California schools suck. Urban Meyer, if this is a ploy to get out of Jacksonville in the shitty situation you're in, props to you to go into probably win a natty with USC, but you didn't have to stick the fingers up the butt, bro. Like, the grinding was enough to get the job. Like, the fingers up the butt was a little aggressive, but hey, we'll give you a pass, bro, and we'll see where this takes you. Any other thoughts on Urban Meyer and his interactions that night and the distraction he caused, and how this probably got him the USC job?
Well, we'll see about that. That's still yet to come. I do know that the Jaguars are going to be fucked, and I love it because I'll take advantage of the easy betting on them. Obviously, I'm picking the Titans for 2 reasons this week in my survivor pools. Reason number 1 being Jacksonville, and reason number 2 coming off that loss to the Jets. As kind of rough as the Titans looked, I think they're going to be pissed off, and they're just going to blow Jacksonville out.
See, Jacksonville doesn't have the run defense to stop. Like, every team right now, as long as Julio Jones and AJ Brown is out, is going to stack the box and everything. And like, they're going to let Derrick Henry run because that's all he can do is run.
He still went off for 156 and a touchdown.
Oh, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, but 1 touchdown isn't going to cut it. He needs at least 3 or 4, especially with these receivers out.
I know. I get that, but I think
I'm with you. I think the Titans are going to win this game. I'm with you on that.
I don't think there's one defense in the NFL that can stop Derrick Henry in a close game. The way you stop Derrick Henry is you get up by 2 or 3 scores so that the Titans have to throw the ball.
Yeah, because once they have to throw the ball, they have no one to throw the ball to, and they're just SOL.
Oh my God. And it just blows my mind how he just, as the game goes on, you start getting into the second half and the fourth quarter, he just gets stronger and stronger. And then the last couple of years, and I'm assuming it'll be the same this too.
Ooh, Noah's frozen on me. Oh no. Noah, can you hear me? Hello. Noah. I know Noah's making a good point. Can you hear me now? Oh, hold on. My internet connection.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. We are in the middle of a storm in Arizona, and as we know, Arizona doesn't know how to deal with storms, and so my internet is going a little bit in and out. Noah, can you still hear me? Are you still there? Oh no.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. Can you still hear me? We love doing this live on air, making sure everyone knows that we can hear each other. We will try to edit that down. Noah, what are your last thoughts on the Titans and everything with Derrick Henry? Oh, and he's there. He goes.
Just age seems to get stronger and stronger. To get tired.
Yeah, in the second half especially, he seems to be a guy that just he can carry a team to a win when they're within that touchdown range. But if it's, if they're 2 touchdowns down, they got to throw the ball. He's not very reliable to lean on. Going into the rest of the NFL games, I got to ask, do you want me to start with my complete overreactions, or do you want me to start with teams I'm extremely down on?
Let's start with your overreactions. I'd like to hear those.
Okay, overreaction number 1. Tampa Bay is about to go into a slump if they can't figure out this secondary. You were right all along, Noah. I will admit this right here, right now. Tampa Bay's secondary is so questionable, especially with how many injuries they have. Richard Sherman is the best person in that secondary right now, and he doesn't know the fucking defense. Like, I don't know what we're doing right now on that defense. Tom Brady, he's still going to lead those teams to victories, but that offense at this point is looking questionable. I know it was a rainy season, like a rainy game and everything, but even showing up against Belichick, they got to be prepared for anything and everything. He called up the weatherman and said, "Hey, make it rain, dude. This is Weathergate 2.0." You know what I'm saying? Like Chris Godwin dropping all those bombs.
Weathergate.
I'm just saying, bro, all of a sudden that rain came out of fucking nowhere. It was sunny all week, and then Sunday rolls around and it's wet and stormy. It's Weathergate 2.0. Belichick pulled out all the tricks. This Tampa defense, they're going to struggle. This Tampa team is going to struggle with this defense the way it is. I'm with you, Noah, that this team is looking rough right now. They're definitely out of my top 5 of the NFC right now. As bold as that is, my other big
I wouldn't put them out of the top 5 in the NFC.
Top 5 in the NFL, top 5.
Yes,
they're in the top. Okay, top 5 of the NFL. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I take them out of the top 5 of the NFL because I think there's 5 teams that are better than them. One of those,
because I was going to say they're still probably like maybe the 4th best team in the NFC in my mind.
I can get there. I guess. But what I guess we're talking about the NFC. Let's keep it going. My other overreaction, I guess, to this week is my Arizona Cardinals, bro. My Arizona Cardinals. Like, what are we doing here? Here we go. Like, we are the best team in the NFC. We are undefeated still. As I said going into preseason, the most dangerous team in the NFC West, it was going to be the Rams and the Cardinals the entire time. The 49ers and Seahawks looking weak as shit, especially in that shit show of a game they had this week. Cardinals are for real. Kyler Murray has figured it out. He understands how to run this offense. He understands how to be a mobile quarterback in today's NFL, running when he absolutely has to, but just extending plays and letting his receivers create space. It's a beautiful thing to watch as a Cardinals fan. And honest to God, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people saying they could go 17-0. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the NFC West is still too strong. I think they'll drop 2 or 3 games to the NFC West, 1 to the Rams, and then maybe 1 to the Seahawks. I don't see them dropping to the Niners, but maybe we're dropping 1 to the Niners. I really see this Cardinals team as something that's going to be I see this Cardinals team as a playoff team. I'm going to make it straight and simple. This is a playoff team. I put money on them to go to the Super Bowl, and I think this is just a beautiful start to what we're going through. Not taking anything away from the Rams. I think the Rams are also a playoff team, one that's still explosive, but this game was very telling that the Cardinals were just a better football team. Noah, what are your thoughts? How much am I overreacting? And then we'll get to the Packers after this. I want to overreact about that as well. But let's hear your thoughts on the Rams and Cardinals real quick. Yep.
I would say it's a slight. Be good.
I think we're good.
Okay, I would say it's a slightly more than my overreaction. I don't think it's a big overreaction. It's definitely not egregious. It is one game. It's a week game.
Hold on 1 second, Noah.
And it looks really good. They're going to be.
Yeah. I think we're good.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I think I still like the Rams to win the division. Cardinals have been, my problem with them is they've been inconsistent week to week. So, a really good game against the Titans week 1, a really good game played against the Rams here. But, I mean, barely beating the Vikings and then being down at halftime and into the third quarter against the Jaguars are not good looks. I mean,
don't get me wrong.
And so I think that inconsistency will be there throughout the season. I think the Cardinals they're very young.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ever going to get to the point of being a well-oiled machine where they're looking consistently dominant week in and week out. And I like them a lot better now after their start than I did. I think I picked them to go like 8-9 or 9-8 at the beginning. I like them at 11 to 12 wins at this point. Probably favoring towards 11. Give me 11-6, maybe a 12-5 record, because I do think the Rams are gonna. It's still a while until the rematch game happens, but I think the Rams are going to come fully prepared for that one. Just win by multiple touchdowns.
We'll definitely see on that. I agree with you. The Cardinals are an inconsistent football team, but they win games, and that's all in the end.
When they're on, they're on. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Holy shit, they look like a Super Bowl team when they're on, and when they bring their A game. Their problem is we've had 4 games and they brought their A game twice and their B game once, and their C game, another time. Luckily, that C game was against Jacksonville. Otherwise, I mean, if they played that way against 20, 25 other teams in the NFL, they lose that game. But Jacksonville's one of those like 5 or 10 teams that you can afford to have an off game and still beat them.
Yeah, and let's hope that was Cardinals' one-off game. Really liking them and liking what they're doing. Noah, another game that I can't help but overreact to is Steelers versus the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, he's back. I mean, we talked about this last week and the week before. Week 1 was a fluke. That team is all the way back. I'm feeling good about the Packers. Controlling the NFC North. The Steelers, though, it is obvious, I believe, more than ever, that these guys have no idea what they're going to do at quarterback pass this year. And I've been preaching this since the preseason.
I don't know that they even know what they're doing this entire year.
I would agree at this point. I've been preaching since the preseason that the only reason that Ben is back, medium large Ben is back, is because they had no idea what to do at quarterback. They didn't have a good draft pick. They had nothing. They had Dwayne Haskins,
put in Haskins. I mean, Haskins he can't be any worse than Big Ben's been playing. Now, I think it's too early to do that yet. But if nothing improves by like week 7 or 8, if you're Mike Tomlin, you got to make a change, because Ben is missing his mark on some throws. Obviously, there were a couple drop balls and kind of piss poor route running. Like, his receivers aren't helping. Like, my favorite clip was Juju looking at the tablet and then like throwing it on the ground, and I'm like, dude, stop being so pissed off. Like, maybe help your fucking quarterback out a little bit.
See what you're doing wrong.
He also has zero mobility.
Zero.
Which doesn't help, because I mean, it's pretty easy to defensive play call. All you do is you bring your rush and collapse the pocket. Big Ben can't go anywhere because he can't move.
Yeah, he really can't. You got to just rush 4 or 5 guys, and you've got him dead to rights at this point. Like, if his O-line can hold it, like, he can get a pass off, but that's if his receivers, as you said, can run the route properly. There's a lot wrong with that Steelers offense. I'm not feeling good about them whatsoever.
It's, to me, it's starting to look like it's just, and we see it in sports, across all sports, where you get a really good player who starts getting up there in age and they overextend their career, and then their career gets tainted a little bit by their last year or 2 or 3. And now people forget about those after time.
I would say it happened with Brett Favre, and here we are today still thinking he's a great player.
I mean, he took the Vikings to an NFC Championship. Cisco.
Yeah, but then he played for the Jets.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, and I get it, the competitive spirit. You don't want to give in, and you walk away.
Yeah,
but there, every player, there's a time to the way that season ended for them. Not necessarily a high note, but they still had a pretty good regular season. There's no shame in retiring.
No shame at all. No shame at all. Big Ben should really. Medium large Ben should really consider that after this season.
That's the problem. Maybe he just needs to go back to being Big Ben. He needs to put those 25, 30 pounds back on. That's his issue. He just needs to get 30 pounds heavier and be playing injured. And then he'll be back to true form.
That's all he needs, bro, at this point. You're right.
It's the only way he knows how to do it. So he's got to go back to it. He's got to put on some weight and have some shoulder and knee injuries.
This whole medium large thing isn't working too well. Let's go back to being Big Ben. I love it. Noah, can we talk about a team really quick that I fucking hate?
Which one? The Bears?
Yes, the fucking Bears beating the Lions this week, 24-14. Dude.
I was trying to think. I'm like, I know you hate a couple teams. I'm trying to figure out which one. I'm like, oh, your own team, the good old self-loathing Bears fan.
Dude, what are we now? We're 2-2 now. Something like that. God, dude, we're already gonna get a shitty draft pick. Then when we need a good draft pick, we beat the Lions with Justin Fields. I mean, great. It's the Lions. I mean, I'm not going to toot the horn whatsoever.
Well, how many times were the Lions in the red zone without scoring? It felt like it was
disgusting.
at least 4 or 5 times. They had turnovers. Apparently the Lions are just never going to fucking kick a field goal ever again. Dan Campbell just decided, you know what, we get inside the 10-yard line, we're just going for it every single time. Fuck a field goal.
Which, hey, that's not a bad strategy if you have a good defense to back it up. You know what I mean? But they don't have a defense to hold that offense in, within that 10, 25-yard range. You know what I mean? Like, they're SOL. But Matt Nagy, dude, what are we doing? Like, I hate everything about this Bears offense. I understand we got the victory and everything. Defense, nothing really much to write home about either. This was just a gross game altogether. The fact that they allowed the Lions to score 14 points, I think, was insulting. Noah, I'm.
You ready? So you ready for this?
No, I'm not. But go ahead.
So the Lions had 2 fumbles, one of which was in the red zone, and then they had three turnovers on downs from going for it on 4th and not getting it, all in Bears territory. 2 of those 3 were in the red zone. So that is 3 times in the red zone. They got nothing out of it. Another one where they were, it would have been a very long field goal, but makeable. They only lost by 10. If you get a field goal on all 4 of those possessions, that's the win. But apparently Dan Campbell is he just said, fuck a field goal. We're not going for a field goal.
No, let's not win the game. Let's not beat the Bears. Let's go and let Matt Nagy keep his job. Let's go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Noah, what the hell do I have to do to get this guy fired? Like, come on.
He did say that if Dalton's healthy, Dalton will be the starter next week.
Who cares, bro? Who cares who's the starter? Who cares about any of that shit? The Lions would have beat us this week if they would have taken some fucking field goals. And here we are with the Bears, the victory over the Lions. The Bears are the worst 500 team in football right now. They will be the worst 500 team at the end of the season. Hell, they will be the worst losing team coming into the end of the season. This is a bad organization with a bad head coach, a bad GM, and guys that deserve to not be doing their jobs anymore. They might go get another job in college football or something, but please stop fucking up my Bears, okay? I want to sit down on a Sunday, enjoy the Cardinals and the Bears play, but I can only enjoy the Cardinals play because I got to worry about the Bears doing stupid shit like this and almost losing to the goddamn Lions if they would have kicked a couple field goals. This is ridiculous, bro. I'm done with it. What are we doing? Oh.
Yeah. I don't know, but you know what this means, the Bears beating the Lions.
What?
It
what
means,
does it mean?
It means when they play again, do they play on Thanksgiving this year? Because that would just be so
God,
quick.
I hope not. Please,
Because
no.
this has been the narrative for I don't even know how many years. The Lions seem to, as shitty as they've been, they always seem to win out of 2 against the Bears.
Always. Who are they playing? I'm looking up right now.
25th of November. That's got to be Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's gotta be. God.
There's my way too early prediction. The Lions are going to win that game on Thanksgiving against the Bears.
And I'm calling it right now. The Bears are starting Nick Foles.
I'd be shocked by that. I mean, it would have to be Dalton or Fields injured, and then they get frustrated enough with the other one that they bench him, and then Foles comes in. But I guess possible.
I hate the Bears. I hate them so much.
I do think we might see Foles at some point this season, just because it's going to be like they're going to be so frustrated and just like exhausting like all options and Foles. Or maybe they'll fire Nagy halfway through the season, and then a new coach comes in and he's like, "Oh, you guys are fucking idiots. Foles is the best quarterback on this team."
Okay. So for starters, Nagy should have been fired before week 1. Nagy should have been fired before the season started. Like, if we fire him halfway through the season, it doesn't fucking matter because we still have all of his lackeys on the coaching team running the offense and shit. So we're just going to be bad no matter what. So at this point, just wait until the end of the year to fire him and embarrass the motherfucker. I'm over it, dude. I'm over the Bears. I'm really done with them. I'm not touching another game that I'm going to bet on them and shit, but they disgust me, dude. They just disgust me.
I'm just happy because of how easy of a fucking cakewalk this division is.
It is until you run into it. That division is going to be a cakewalk for the Packers, I do believe. But once you run into the Cardinals and shit, you're fucked.
I'm telling you, well, the Packers have the 4th hardest schedule this year, but it's not even going to matter because the Bears, the Lions, and the Vikings are also all in the top 6 in difficulty of schedule. So, we might lose more than 3 games this year. That would be too bad, but maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just go 14-3. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
wouldn't be too bad.
Our defense finally started looking good. Second half of the Lions game, and then pretty much this whole game, other than the very first drive for the Steelers. Although losing Jair Alexander is going to be a big hit, but we should be getting Zadarius Smith back in a couple weeks, maybe a week or 2
after that back
earliest.
surgery. I don't know, but
his time frame it's nothing definitive. So I mean, if Zadarius comes back and is as dominant as he has been the last 2 seasons, that'll help our pass rush and our run defense a lot. Like I said, Jair is going to be a big hit, but it looks like, our offense is back. So if we got to beat a team in a fucking shootout, I think we can Packers are capable of doing that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah, I love the Packers in that division, and I think that's a no-brainer. Um, really quick, Noah. When you were a kid, you remember the commercials and the TV shows for Care Bears?
Sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You had like they were bears, and they were,
Yeah, well, I'm familiar with what Care Bears
you
are.
know,
I can't say I like vividly remember any commercials. I guess this
no,
was
fair
your
enough.
yeah. I guess this was your thing growing up was
No, no,
Care
no,
Bears.
no,
But
no. It wasn't my thing growing up, but like
okay,
it
whatever you
wasn't.
say.
I
Whatever you
was just
say.
asking about Care Bears because the next guy I want to talk about is Air Bear. Justin Herbert, the guy for the Chargers, because this guy over here, I mean, I don't like he put up a beautiful game against the Raiders. Justin Herbert, honest to God, is going to be a generational quarterback. I really think he's going to be the next Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning type guy. He is
Beautiful, beautiful half.
That's all you need. Again, he put up more points than the other team, that's all that matters at the end of the day. And if he can, as long as he can lead his team to a victory, I think we're looking at a guy here, because this Chargers team that was not ready for a rookie quarterback. This Chargers team was not ready to rebuild like they're rebuilding right now. But if they can get a couple receivers under his belt, if they can get like some good offensive linemen under there, they're looking at a quarterback that can probably lead them to a couple playoff runs and maybe even a Super Bowl, or else Justin Herbert's going to be out of town before you can blink an eye.
They already have decent receivers. They've got a great one in Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen's wonderful, absolutely.
Something that a lot of people are overlooking this year is how damn good their offensive line is. I think they've got one of the best, if not the best, pass protection in the league. I mean, the Chargers offensive line is no joke.
Yeah.
And that's, the age old offensive linemen get no glory. They get no recognition. But I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year this is ranked as the number one offensive line in all of football.
Wow.
They're really, really good. I mean, not getting hit very, very much. He's got a ton of time. He's got good athletic receivers that he can find, which is why this team is doing as well as it is. And I gotta apologize to the Chargers and Chargers fans for picking them to go 8-9 this season. I'm completely changed on that now. I think this is a good 12-win team who will be able to challenge the Chiefs for the division. I still think the Chiefs will win it, but
really,
yeah,
you
it'll
think
be
the Chiefs
close.
can still do it?
They're 2-2. They're one game back from the division lead.
All right, you ready for my next overreaction then? Chiefs are dead. They're done. I'm over them. They can't cover to save their life. I mean, they covered this week, but I'm done with them, dude. I don't trust the Chiefs. I don't like what they're doing. I think they're as freaky as all get out.
I don't know how you can't trust a team to have a good regular season, a team that can easily go out and put up 40 points any given game.
Well, because they let the Eagles score 30 points.
They still won.
Yeah, Eagles are a shit team, though.
Okay, but are the Browns a shit team?
I would say they're trending back towards that. Yeah, after only putting up 14 points against that Vikings team and seeing what we have in the last couple of weeks, I say they're trending back to be the same old Brownies.
Okay, well, never mind then. Whatever.
What were you gonna say?
Say Chiefs beat them. They lost to the Ravens and the Chargers, who I think we can both agree the Ravens and the Chargers are both good teams.
True. I will say the Ravens are looking a lot better than I thought they would.
I mean, to be fair, the Chiefs may have had the toughest stretch of 3 games to start the season out of any team.
Yeah, that's hard to argue against. Yeah.
And you would have expected the Chiefs to at least start 2-1. They started 1-2, but it's whatever. If their offensive line can figure it out, and if their defense can get progressively a little bit better every week, they're still going to be a good threat. Their defense just needs to take a little bit of a step to get better, because they're looking kind of like fucking Swiss cheese.
Yeah,
so far.
I can agree with you. So from talking about some teams that are really good in their divisions, talking about teams that are really bad, let's talk about the Jets really quick. And our boy Zach freaking Wilson pulling out his first victory against the Titans in overtime, 27-24. Jets going to London this week against a very bad Falcons team. I'm liking the Jets already. But what did you think about this game? Do you think the Jets have any redeemable qualities whatsoever? Because watching this game, I was like, this is probably some of the worst football I've watched in a long time. They stacked the box against Derrick Henry, which you have to do with all of the other receivers out. And I think that's what a lot of defenses are going to do, as long as the Titans are having these wide receiver issues. So that'll be something interesting to watch going forward. But the Jets going against the Falcons this week, where do you think the Jets stand? Do you think they can win another game? We both have them losing a lot of games this season. I believe I have them going 5-12, or even lower than that, but still not a good record. But I think this game against the Falcons is one they can win. What are your thoughts on this Jets team, Noah?
Well, I picked them to go 6-11 this, and I think this will be a very good opportunity, a very winnable one for them. I actually did not have them beating Tennessee, so they're already ahead of pace for where I had the year, I believe. I'm going to pull up their schedule real quick because, just because I could, I mapped out, the Jets and what I thought week by week they would do.
Oh, of course.
Oh, I did have them beating the Panthers.
Did you really?
Didn't have them, unfortunately. Yep, but that's okay. They made up for it with this Titans one. So they've got a pretty weak schedule. A weak schedule that was weak to begin with, but looks even weaker now. Now that we're 4 weeks into the season. I mean, they're not going to be games that they win are not going to be pretty wins. That team's not good enough to have pretty wins. They're going to be tough fought wins. I'm just happy. Zach Wilson finally got some fucking help. All those interceptions.
Finally.
All those interceptions is because he had no pass protection, and his receivers are running these lazy ass routes and not doing anything, not trying to go to the ball. And he's been doing all he can, and he finally got some help. Not a ton from his offensive line, but he got a ton of his receivers were actually helping him out this week.
No, absolutely. This Jets offense finally gave our boys some help. And I mean, don't get me wrong. We knew he was going to the Jets. We knew it was going to be a struggle for Zach freaking Wilson. But at the same time, we thought he would have a little bit more help than he did. But here we are now. Seeing that he can actually complete passes to receivers who seem to be able to catch the ball all of a sudden. Thank God you can do your job. Congratulations. But yeah, if they can keep doing this, I think this Jets team is going to win. I think if not win, they're going to keep a lot more games closer and cover a lot more of the spread. I really like what Bob Sala is doing down there, and everything. I have good hopes for this Jets team in the future with Zach Wilson if ownership can get out of its way. I really like them to beat the Falcons going into this week, going into London. That's an early pick.
Speaking
go ahead.
The Falcons did what they do best, and they falconed, and they choked away a lead. Can't say I am surprised. I live bet Washington in this one when they were down 8, because why the hell not? The
Honestly.
Falcons, I mean, it's death taxes and the Falcons choking away games. I mean, that's what they're best at. I don't know why, but they hate winning. They hate it.
They do, and for having a elite quarterback, they really can't put up enough points in order to keep a lead, especially with how bad their defense is playing. Washington beating Atlanta 34-30. I mean, this Washington team isn't good by any
Tom Brady
means.
broke Will. Tom Brady already broke the will to win in this fucking organization with that Super Bowl years ago. They have not been the same since. And
They haven't, dude.
It's almost like they have like this stigma in their own head. They're just having PTSD flashbacks every time they have a lead, and then they always blow the damn lead. I don't get it, but it never fails. They're losers. They're just losers.
They are at this point. And honestly, it doesn't help that they have Matt Ryan still at quarterback. It doesn't help that ownership still thinks that that's the answer. That defense is a fucking mess.
Pitts ain't doing shit yet. He's not the prodigy that they. I mean, he's a rookie, so he might need time to develop. But people were talking about Pitts like he was going to come in and be an immediate impact type of guy.
They did,
He's not doing anything particularly special.
But especially at tight end, like it does not help when you have a shitty O-line, and that doesn't help you whatsoever. That can't let you, get a good block off and then go.
He was the highest drafted tight end ever.
I get that. And I think I think he will prove his worth in the coming weeks and stuff. I honestly think he's the best player on that team from what I've seen. But
Calvin Ridley is, but
he's the best receiver on the team. I think the best player on the team is Kyle Pitts, but that's another conversation for later, I guess. Atlanta just needs to figure it out. They need to get out of this Matt Ryan contract. He needs to let them restructure or something to get some more weapons around him or some more O-linemen around him so he has a goddamn chance, because he's a pocket quarterback. And you can't really be a pocket quarterback in the NFL right now if you don't have a good O-line, and they don't have a good O-line. And so here he is, doing his
diaper
thing.
Quarterback.
He is a diaper quarterback. # diaper quarterback at Matt Ryan. We've covered this before. Matt Ryan is a diaper quarterback.
Speaking of shitty teams, the Houston Texans without Tyrod Taylor and Davis Mills at quarterback look like they have they are hitting their final form. They're hitting their form that I expected them to be coming in this season.
So Noah, I went to a sports bar this weekend to watch some football games, as one does. And no joke, they turned this game off because it was awful. It was awful. How do you like?
Well, Trubisky came in.
I know. Yeah,
that was my favorite part of this with this whole week combined is, Mitch Trubisky came in and had a better quarterback rating than Tom Brady.
Yeah, fucking crazy. And don't get me wrong. And let me tell you, if you watch a Degenerate Bets, you saw my take on this game. I was scared of Bills at 17.5, minus 17.5, but I took them because I'm like the Texans. There's no way they can do any better. And here we are putting up 40 points, 40-0 against this Texans team. I mean, we said it a couple of weeks ago. Tyrod Taylor was the life and soul of that team. And it's proven even more. I mean, the Texans are fucked, dude. It's simple as that. They're fucked. They're going to get the first round draft pick. Good for them. Maybe they can get a quarterback. Even though this is a terrible year to get quarterback, they're probably going to get fucking Spencer Rattler at this point.
I don't think anybody's he's going to have to come back to college at this rate because he's playing like shit. He's
playing so bad.
He's on thin ice. He's getting close to getting benched. No NFL team's going to draft a guy who's not even good enough to start.
The Texans might be desperate enough, though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But, Bills now with a 35-0 win over the Dolphins a couple of weeks ago and a 40-0 win over the Texans. I don't know what happened that caused them to lose at home to the Steelers in week 1, but they're playing at the Chiefs. This will be a very, very telling game, I think, for both teams.
No, 100%. I mean, if the Bills can put up this many points and the Chiefs can't put up shit, I mean, I think we know who. I think even if the Chiefs put up 20 points, but the Bills still put up 20 more, I think we understand who the dominant leader of the AFC is. Excuse me. This Bills team is dangerous. I really think we're looking at a Bills Cardinals Super Bowl at this point. Excuse me. The way these two teams are playing, we both love Josh Allen. This show is very pro Josh Allen and what he's done. We love Bills Mafia and jumping through the flaming tables and shit like that. I mean, that's as degenerate as you get as Bills Mafia.
Love the total and utter disregard for personal health and well-being.
As a professional wrestler, I appreciate it, especially. You fucking keep doing what you're doing, Bills Mafia. With that being said, Josh Allen is amazing. He's incredible with what he does. Stephon Diggs has been an incredible addition to that offense. That O-line is good to go. This team looks unstoppable, kind of like the Cardinals. They have everything. They have a good defense. They have a good secondary. They got a good receiving core. They got a good running back room. Their quarterback is unbelievable. This team is about to take over the AFC probably for the next couple of years. We have the opportunity to be looking at the next Patriots with this Bills team. However, they will have to run into the Cardinals coming into the Super Bowl. Noah, am I overreacting a little too hard, or is this Bills team as damn good as I think they are? You want to agree with me? You want to agree with me?
I mean, the Bills are damn good.
They are.
Right. I'm not going to jump on them. I'm not going to favor them over the Chiefs.
Wow.
In the AFC until I see what happens. If they go into Arrowhead and win, then yes, hands down, no questions asked. They are, in my mind, the favorite to win the AFC. Now, if the Chiefs win this game, I think that tells you pretty much all you need.
Doesn't tell you anything.
It tells you enough.
You anything. What does it tell you? It tells you the Bills had one bad game.
It tells you the Chiefs are still a top dog. But I also still am not sleeping on the Ravens. I mean, they're about to get probably Rashad Bateman and God, what's his name? The other receiver back. So you're getting a pair of receivers that they're pretty high on back from injury. That passing offense in Baltimore might just become electric.
I could see that. The Ravens, I am very high on the Ravens and what they're doing as a team this year. They're definitely number 2 in the AFC, I think, behind the Bills. They're number 2, easy.
They're struggling on defense, which makes me a little nervous. I mean, I think the Chiefs are still number 1, put the Bills number 2, and then the Ravens are probably my number 3 team, I guess, in the AFC. And I like the Chargers behind the Ravens, and then how about the Raiders though?
The Raiders.
I think they're playing the Bears this week, huh?
Let me double check you. That sounds right. Yeah, they are, and they're a 5-point favorite.
That ought to be a bloodbath.
I hope it is, dude. I hope it is. I hope the Raiders blow the Bears out. I really do. And I'm saying this as a Bears fan because that's how badly I want Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace out of the fucking building. It's killing me. And Derek Carr is a good quarterback, apparently, and that receiving core is okay. They didn't play that great this week, but I think it's just a bounce back week for them, especially against the weak defense that the Bears is putting up right now.
No, their receivers, other than Darren Waller, aren't anything to brag about, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, but Darren Waller not putting up enough fantasy points for me to win. Shout out to him. Thank you, bro.
How much did you need to win? He put up like 15 or 16 points.
I needed about 25 points to win. So
you're just asking too much out of a fucking tight end. Waller's not capable of it, but
I had DJ Chark starting in my lineup, and then he got injured on the first play. Well, then he got injured because I'm in a fucking 16-man league, so I got to do what I got to do. Okay, and then DJ Chark comes out and gets injured on the first drive, and here I am, SOL. Anyway, this Raiders team looking a little suspect, but I think Derek Carr is still a pretty solid quarterback.
I think they're gonna I think by the end of the season, they're going to be pushing for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
And, through and through, based on what I have seen so far this season through 4 weeks, my hot take is the NFC West is not the best division through and through in football. They're number 2 behind the AFC West.
No. Not even a little bit. Are you joking, bro?
You don't think the AFC West is deeper and better through and through?
Not even a little bit, especially after the game we saw with Seattle and San Francisco. Not even a little bit.
So 2 teams that have no fucking defense.
It
was a close game because they're just 2 good offenses against 2 shit fucking defenses. Have you seen how bad Seattle is at stopping the run, especially this year?
Yes, I have been. Yes, I have been.
Dalvin Cook
that.
was injured. Dalvin Cook was injured, and his backup ran all over.
Yes, I watched that game too.
Kirk Cousins had a fantastic game.
Yeah, I watched that game.
They've done this all season.
The NFC West is still the best division in football. It's as simple as that. AFC West, don't get me wrong, very strong, starting to become very dominant, but I need to see a little bit more before I hand that crown over.
Here's what I'll say. AFC West will send 3 teams to the playoffs. The NFC West is only going to send 2, and that's going to be Arizona and the Rams, because I don't think Seattle or San Francisco makes playoffs based on how they've played through 4 weeks.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with you. So, yeah, and like I said in the preseason, it's going to be the Cardinals and the Rams are the top 2 teams in the division. But I don't think that means the AFC West is sending 3 teams. Who the hell are the 3 teams going to be?
Chargers and Chiefs, sure as hell.
Chargers and Chiefs, I agree with. Who the hell's that? Raiders and Broncos are fake.
They're
Broncos are fake.
I agree. I think it'll be the Raiders, but both teams are sitting at 3-1. So
Raiders aren't making it. Raiders are not making it with their schedule the way it is. They're not making it past. If they make it to the playoffs, they'll get a wild card spot. I guess fine. I guess they would be sending 3 teams.
Obviously, that's how
bullshit.
That's how you.
It's bullshit.
That's how you make the playoffs if you don't win your divisions by wild cards. So.
I do agree with you that the AFC West will not be sending 3 teams. Like I said, I think the Seahawks and the 49ers are fake. Still the best division in football for those 2 teams being fake. However, something just seems wrong about seeing the Raiders in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, I totally didn't think that was going to happen coming into the season. I picked them at 7-10, but I love. I mean, they've new defensive coordinator, reinvented defense. Obviously, last year they had the worst defense in all of football.
Terrible.
And you know where they ranked through 4 weeks is I think 14th or 15th in the NFL. That's huge. You go from 32nd to 14th. That's enough to win enough games.
It really is. It really is at this point. Noah, am I forgetting any teams that we want to overreact to, or do you have anything else that you're looking forward to this week besides the playoffs, obviously, for postseason we're in with the MLB?
Yeah, looking forward to that, obviously. Just want to say New England should have beaten Tampa Bay.
They should have.
Belichick had that game planned out perfect. I think the rain probably helped a little bit, but I mean, not going to go and blame the weather because both teams had to play with it. So
yeah.
I mean, Mac Jones looked like the better quarterback.
Yeah,
in that game.
He really did.
In that game, he looked like the better quarterback. But other than that, I mean, we forgot to mention the Cowboys at all. I feel like we just got to do our due diligence and mention them at least once.
Damn it. Yeah, we do. The Cowboys looking like a
Mike
playoff
McCarthy
football team. Fuck.
Mike McCarthy, as a home favorite, has an impeccable record in his career.
True.
It doesn't change. They have the Giants at home this week. I expect another bloodbath, blow out another division opponent.
Yeah, and we will cover all the games this weekend on Degenerate Bets, probably coming out Thursday, Friday morning, or whenever we get around to recording that. The Cowboys are looking,
before the games happen.
yeah, before the games happen, we'll have our picks out. And if you can't listen to the podcast, follow us, myself at Perfect1, Noah at _Engelbretson, or at Degenerate Takes, where we repost all that stuff. But yeah, the Cowboys look like them boys, dude. It's kind of, I hate to say it, but Dak Prescott is looking like a quarterback that's worth how much he's getting paid, and he's showing it that he's worth it. And I'm proud of him for that. Like, good on him for doing that. CeeDee Lamb and these boys showing up. CeeDee Lamb not having the best week. My bad for mentioning him. But the Cowboys looking like a solid team. What are your thoughts on them real quick?
Their offense is really good. Zeke's heating up again.
Yeah.
They're firing on all cylinders. Another team with, a new reinvented defense, new defensive coordinator, I believe, just like the Raiders, and they are looking a lot better. Those are two of the worst defenses last year, and they're both looking mediocre this year. So you can do a lot with a five, with a top five offense and a middle of the road defense. You can win a lot of games like that.
You really can. Again, the point of the game is to have more points on the board than your opponent at the end of the day. And so as long as you can do that, and your defense can keep holding them to less points, that's all you really need. If the Cowboys can keep doing that, they're going to be looking good all season. And I hate to say that.
Shout out to Trevon Diggs, man. He's got
five
picks, five picks through 4 games. That's a bad man. That is a bad man.
Bad man. Is he still on his rookie contract, or is he getting paid now?
I don't think he's getting paid yet.
Well, look for him in the next couple of years to get paid by a team, because, I mean, that's
after
alone.
After this, they'll work something out after this year, especially if he goes and puts up, Xavier Howard, 9 or 10 interceptions on the season. That's that's key enough. Like any team will pay you for that.
100%, dude. It's going to be great. Before we sign off, I also just want to shout out the fact that NHL is about to start popping off. We're already in preseason hockey. I already took the over in the Coyotes game this Tuesday night. Not looking good, but here we keep going. We're going with hockey. The NBA is about to start up. Preseason's rolling great. We're about to kind of go into the greatest time of the year, Noah. Like
October, baby.
Oh man, it's. Can we say officially it's the greatest month of the year?
As a sports fan, October is
the greatest month of the year. Beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's the only month where you get all 4. Well, I suppose a little bit bleeds into November probably, but
a little bit in November, but that's just if the World Series goes long. You know what I mean?
You're right. But yeah, I mean, gotta love October.
You do. You really do. And if you're looking for
the most wonderful time of the year.
It truly is. Screw December. Here we are in October, getting ready for everything. And for all of your NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL takes, you should be here for Degenerate Takes, because we'll have all of them, no matter how bad or good they are. We will have takes on everything possible. Also follow us on Degenerate Bets, where, don't get me wrong, we probably shouldn't bet everything that we're going to bet coming up this October, but we're going to bet probably everything. I mean, I already have a parlay lined up for the first day that all 4 sports are active. So here we go, dude. Any last notes to the degens out there, Noah?
No.
All right. Well, we will see you later this week on Degenerate Bets. Also covering Thursday Night Football on Degenerate Takes.